Good morning, everybody. We're coming to you live right here from inside the main build facility at Bubba's Exotic Motorsports. I'm Tom. It's Friday. I hope everybody's had a wonderful week. The ladies' man's right here. We're going to be seeing him in a minute. And the master's walking in right now. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome him with a big applause. Bubba! What's happening, Bub? How are we doing today?
I don't necessarily think you start off by doing a big applause. I come in and we just let it rip. I still don't have the notification setting right on my phone, so if you guys haven't gotten them set up right on your phone, there is something new with Facebook that, why does the camera look like it's really crooked?
It doesn't.
Is it crooked?
Look at our production staff out here, Bub, and everything. Look
Listen,
at everybody
anyways,
out there, man.
Facebook did something where they actually changed the way that they default their notifications. So if you guys haven't gotten any more notifications and you are watching right now by happenstance, you need to update those notifications, which is going to our page, clicking on it, then going from the notification where you click the like button. You have to actually change that to show up in your news feed now, and that will set off a notification in your pocket. Don't know why they changed it, but they did.
But it's funny, man. They'll download.
We have 35,000 people we have to do that to.
That's
God
exactly.
dang it.
And the download just keeps going. Download, download, download Messenger, download Messenger, download Messenger, and it ties your
What are you
phone up for
talking
like
about
20
right
minutes.
now?
I have no idea. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. This episode is brought to you by Bubba's Exotic Motorsports. That's Bubba'sExoticMotorsports.com. The moose is loose strictly on the internet now, although sales of her items are flying off the shelf here in the BEM retail store, Bub.
That's right.
Miss Outlaw, the beautiful Layla Von Athey, she's killing it out there. Ladies and gentlemen, rough country. Rough country is Jeep and trucks done.
Bubba style, obviously.
How about that? Orange County Choppers, Bub. Man, lots of great stuff. We are on American Chopper Tuesday night at 10 o'clock. You killed it, man.
Tuesday night, Discovery Channel, American Chopper Season 2. If you guys didn't see it from the past Tuesday a couple days ago, you can go out and pull all of those up, not only on our YouTube channel, but also all over YouTube itself, and see that episode rerun where we actually did the release of the Senior Series production bikes that are going to be available right here at BEM, being built on site, plus also being built in Newburgh, New York at the OCC headquarters. All of them available both through OCC and BEM. We unveiled that here at Exotics on Las Olas with Floyd Ragg. It was a sick time, dude. I'm talking millions of dollars in rides that lined the streets of Las Olas, and it was insane.
Incredible, man. You and I were talking to Senior last night, Bub. Late into the night, we are going to be doing the Senior Series bikes from here. The first two are available for sale. We have decided to put the original first two bikes up for sale, Bob.
And that's going to be a serious collector piece.
Yes, it is.
Like, personally, hand-signed by Paul Sr. Does not get much better than that. The cost of the bike alone, less than what Paul Sr.'s signature is worth.
That's exactly
honestly,
right.
it really
crazy,
is.
Man? Isn't that crazy? And we want to say good morning to all of our good friends over there, B3C Fuel Solutions, Bub. They are just killing it over there. We're going to talk a little bit more about it. But what we have in front of us right here is a 2014 Jeep JKU Polar Edition. The Polar Edition was a little different than your standard push-it-out-the-door JKs.
So Mopar did these things, right? Like, you know, when you get, you go and you buy any vehicle package, right? There's always some sort of model line within that model, right? So Mustangs have like the EcoBoost, the GT, whatever, right? And then the Jeep Wranglers have like the Unlimited. They have an Unlimited Sport, an Unlimited Sport Sahara, Unlimited Sport S. They have a Rubicon. They have a, trust me, there are a lot of different types of Wranglers you can buy, right? Well, this was one of those. It was a Polar Edition, and this had a couple unique features on it. Nothing over the top, nothing crazy that you couldn't get your hands on or duplicate, but it did have some iconic features that, in this case, really themed the entire build of this Jeep.
Good morning to Allison. She's saying, morning, fellas, that blue Kevlar paint Jeep is sick. It really is, Bub. We're going to talk a little bit about that. Senior was talking to us this morning. He wanted to know what color blue that is. You can't answer the question. Why, Bub?
I custom made it.
Custom made it. Bub, let's tell everybody, where did this blue come from? This is a textured blue Kevlar finish. I'm going to show everybody a picture of this Jeep. This Jeep was hit by a landscape vehicle with a lowboy and a backhoe on it. The driver's side was completely collapsed underneath of it. What you see now in front of you is the client, the owner said, go do whatever you want with this vehicle. You studied the vehicle very, very, very hard. You looked at one thing and found the color.
So naturally, this client had this. Okay, so here let's kind of start it from scratch, right?
I'll show a picture of the Jeep original.
It was hit, right? So naturally, the insurance gets involved. Of course, it's all covered by the insurance. Just doing traditional repairs
Mr.
and getting
Producer,
this thing.
Can the audience see that on the?
So getting this thing back up on its feet from what you guys are seeing, from an originally wrecked Jeep in the front end, which seemed to be minimal at the time, turned into a much bigger process than that. And of course at BEM we go all the way with it, not just buying remanufactured or aftermarket or cheap parts, but doing everything through Mopar the way it should have been done, as if it rolled right down the assembly line, so that this thing, even when it is done, will be absolutely perfect. And that's of course the only thing we shoot for here at BEM.
This build, Bub's taken you a considerable amount of time. It's taken you about 6 months to build this thing, if not a little bit longer. Originally, the insurance company wanted, what insurance company was it? Do you remember?
Yeah, I don't remember.
I don't remember either. But the insurance company wanted to kind of bang this thing back together and get it back out on the road.
Not much like any car.
But we don't approach insurance jobs that way. As you know, we take them very slow and very meticulous. It wound up, you found that there's a part called the frame horn was bent that they completely missed, and they wanted you just to tug and pull that out. Tell us what the frame horn is.
So essentially, like firewall forward on these things, right? These are full chassis, so it is a full body front to rear, and it is a full frame or a chassis front to rear. So when you have accidents, collision, things like that, especially on modern vehicles, most of that stuff can pretty much be unbolted or stretched and then bought new and put back together, right? Fairly simple to work on today's cars. They have a lot of design in terms of the way they take impacts and collisions. They are meant to fold in certain areas. You know, we've seen that a lot with Mercedes, with, you know, the way the BMWs, the European cars are designed. There are certain sections of the car that are softer than others, so that they are meant to actually crush down in case of an accident, and that's what takes 90% of the hit. And most of those parts are pretty much like spot welded on. You can drill those out, remove the piece, put on new flanges, and then weld them all back in like the factory would have done. Well, in this case, we did have to go all the way with it and actually do, it's actually called a front fender closure, which is like the front frame of the body, essentially. It's the main structure from the firewall to the radiator core support, and all that ties together in 3 different pieces. The fender closure on the left-hand side was actually bent in about 1 inch to the passenger side, right? So the entire front end was shifted over from the impact of that hit. So it wasn't just like take all the new products and bolt them on and then close the hood and let it rip down the road. It wasn't that easy. So you have to go through and completely disassemble the entire front end versus putting it back on a frame machine and re-stretching it back 1.5 inches the other way so it pulls back a little bit. It's a whole process to do, but to do it right, you buy all the parts from Mopar, you get it done properly, start to finish, no matter what it takes, and it's gonna be perfect fitment when it's done.
Jeff Graham says he's liking that paint color as well, Bub.
We're starting to have I had a comment this morning come in to me from New York that came in about the Jeep, what color it was, and can't wait to see it when it's done. So we're gonna do some final shots of this thing. Of course, when it's done, it has a long way to go. It doesn't seem like it, but it has a very long way to go in terms of getting it finished. Rough Country is sending us in a lot more product for this thing to get it not only from where it is, but up a little bit higher. We're gonna bump up some bigger meat on this thing, go with a Nitto Ridge Grappler 3850 monster. Down on that rim you guys are seeing in the background, that is a brand new rim for 2019. We actually just got that on our showroom display 2 weeks ago.
New. Yeah, it's brand new. But a lot of people don't know what the Kevlar textured finish looks like. This is what a standard paint would look like. These are the Rough Country interior grab handles. Mr. Producer, can you see that on the, this is the Rough Country grab handles. They sit inside the vehicle, so they mount. They're very sturdy. It's a great product from Rough Country, right? We can see it right here. There it is right there. And it allows you something to hold on to. It's a very smooth finish. However, when you bring forth a Kevlar-based finish, take a look at the texture of this now. And Bub, what he did is he went through and he custom colored and toned a white Kevlar paint to make this come together. These are the Rough Country Black Series Cube lights. Is that correct, Bub?
Yeah, those are the 2x2s. So that's a 2-inch light. Those are just their traditional spotlights. They are not the daytime running lights. So these things put off an insane amount of light.
And Bub, show us where this piece physically sits on the BEM Rough Country.
So here's what's cool about this, right? So not only is this just the windshield light bar bracket, which is what this truly started with. So this main arm that you guys are seeing is the 50-inch Jeep JK and JKU light bar bracket from Rough Country, of course, right out of the box. We never leave it exactly as it is right here at BEM. This will mount to the side like that. Very simple install. You can do it in under an hour at your house. Very easy. No special tools required. But this one actually was taken another step above typically what we do here at the shop, right? Nothing ever comes out of the box and doesn't get modified. So we took this thing out with the 50-inch light bar brackets, and we actually took the Jeep JK and JKU cube light brackets, and if you notice, they are staying on here. Well, these have actually been all ground down and welded together so that it looks like a one-piece design that was built and designed at Rough Country directly. 2 components in one, and then we actually filled everything in, did the full Kevlar coating over it, and now what you have is a finished product that looks seamless and one piece like something Rough Country did.
How many Jeeps do you see like that, Bub?
Yeah, none.
We were talking to Tyler Grooms over there the other day, the marketing manager at Rough Country, and he was paying you tremendous amount of compliments because of the way you build your vehicles, Bub.
Well, it's you know, it's got to look clean. You know, there's a lot of things that we're doing to this that look super, super heavily modified, but also at the same time almost so clean at their style that you almost can't tell the work's been done, right? For example, this bracket, it looks like something right out of a box. It's that good. That's the way, for example, like the rear bumper looks, and that's the way we've got to do a lot of mods to the front bumper as well to get all these lights in there. We are actually using a bunch of flush mounted lighting from Rough Country as well for like the reverse lamps on this thing. We are going to tie these into the reverse lamp circuit and an auxiliary switch, which is going to be from the line controller. That's going to be in the center of this thing. So there are going to be lights all the way around this Jeep. It is going to light up pretty insane.
It's going to be amazing. But how about draws on alternators with today's LED lighting and Rough Country? How has that been addressed?
It's virtually nothing. You know, when you are running things that are like this, none of these things are incredibly heavy loads. And the way that you get them from, for example, like Rough Country, they send them with full relayed controlled harnesses, right? So everything is done exactly how it should be. They all run through a 30 amp relay or larger or smaller, depending on the lighting option or the winch setup, whatever you are running. All of this stuff is pre-built, ready to go. It is virtually retard proof and tested and proven. So you can take these things out of the box and, like I said, with absolutely no special tools, install any of these products in a couple hours time.
I want to say good morning to all of our friends over at B3C Fuel Solutions, Bub. We are now carrying the private label brand of Mechanic in a Bottle. This will be available for retail sale very soon. We have the fuel conditioner, that we've got the diesel conditioner, the marine conditioner. We've got everything you can imagine. B3C Fuel Solutions is doing a wonderful, wonderful job for us, and they've been doing a lot.
And there's actually already a bottle of that in this Jeep because it has been sitting for about 6 months. So rather than going through and flushing out the fuel system, putting in one of those bottles will bump that octane right back up to where it needs to be.
Get it where it needs to be. The BEM Dirt Track driver, Mr. Mark Hoffman. I'm going to say, Mr. Mark Hoffman, leave the design to Bub, would you? Bub Lloyd, the Jeep needs a 5-inch black stripe to go along the bottom plus edge of the fender.
So you're close with that, Mark, but we do have something for the bottom border of this. If you guys do look in the background, you do see a set of amp power steps. Those things are going to be the same steps that we traditionally do on most of our Jeep JK and JKU installs, which mount directly at the rocker panel below the body. And those, when you open and close the doors, are actually steps that fold out for you to make it that much easier to get in and out of when this thing is in that massive lift mode when it's done.
And you have, Bub, been doing some like highlight and accenting like you normally do, just a little bit here and there. The aftermarket door handles, the aftermarket mirrors, the Rough Country cube lights, just enough to accent it, the black roof rack as well.
So that's what it's all about, man. If you just took a Jeep and you shot it all blue, it would be too much blue. You have to know where and how to dumb things down a little bit to bring it, you know, from such a harsh and vibrant color, especially in this kind of blue. It is a very vibrant color, but you have to bring that down to make it not so in your face, make it look a little bit more, you can kind of take that much blue, right? Well, we've done a lot of custom two-toning and accenting, and we actually are having a 3-tone setup on here, so as you can see in that wheel in the background, it does have an actual metallic graphite color to it, and that is going to be the same thing as the front and rear tow hooks and the fair lead for the front winch.
We just had a comment come in for our head producer over here. Hello, Matt, from Mr. Mark Hoffman. And he's standing over there with his headphones on, not paying attention. Our other producer walking around. He got it. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to take a moment. I'm going to introduce you to Chris. He is the owner of the vehicle. I'm going to bring Chris live on
Before
the
we
stage
go,
with
before
us.
we go with Chris, I need to know one thing.
I had McDonald's last night. First time in like 5 years, dude.
How much
What
of
did you eat
this
last night?
Jeep was built around sharks?
This one, I think you were talking about. Look, everybody off the set's laughing.
Is the color of this based around sharks or something?
No, this is not a blue tip shark. Chris, come on, join us live here on the set. How are we doing today, Chris?
What's up, bro? Hey, wait, are you wearing a Rough Country flag t-shirt right now?
How are you, Chris? How are you?
I am. Actually.
Talk about pure
Come
coincidence,
on over here,
bro.
right in the middle of us, Chris, so we can pick us up.
I'm so excited about this build. I come in here and look at it, and literally
It
I
gives
walk
me
in
chills,
speechless.
man.
I mean, it's amazing, absolutely amazing.
It's crazy, the quality, and you just told Bub basically, go with it, run with it. I want something different. I want
Every
something
text
special.
message I send them, well, I'm thinking about this. Just do what you want to do. I'll come see it, and we'll figure it out.
It's been crazy. You've actually come in and you're a very skilled technician yourself. I will say I can't release exactly what you do, but you work with a very high line of military products.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I mean, I build the Black Hawk helicopters.
Okay, so you know
Just
all
build
of
it for the military, other countries, and stuff like that. So, attention to detail is very important in what I do. And
No loose bolts, though.
no loose bolts. If we have that, we have a problem.
Yes.
Well, at least on your
I live on
helicopters.
the dirt road. Don't blame the bolts. All right.
Maybe when this vehicle came in, not just from the accident, we may have found a few nuts and bolts that were loose from some aftermarket owner upgrades.
Hopefully a rotor doesn't fly off or something.
True story.
That wouldn't fly too well, would he? Ladies and gentlemen, the ladies' man's making his way on the set. So what do you think so far of the Jeep? When you came in yesterday, Chris, you couldn't speak.
No, I couldn't. I really couldn't. The color, blue is my favorite color. Pretty much any version of it, and Bubba nailed it with this.
Did I ever get to tying in the blue color to the gauges, or did we ever just like...
No.
No.
I never did.
As usual, somebody distracted that.
We sidetracked, didn't we?
So, Bub, tell us exactly where the blue came from.
So back to about 14 minutes ago when I was talking about how rare the Polar Edition Jeep was and how there was like all these Rubicons and you can get the Saharas, all this other stuff out there. The Polar Edition Jeep came with two unique items, which was obviously the Polar Edition emblems that are not on the fenders right now because they are coming in from Detroit to us. By the way, there's like 6 left in the country. So we have 2 coming into us, and also the gauge faces themselves are this exact blue that you guys are seeing here. And that is what the entire exterior color of this Jeep was themed around. Where is he going again?
I think he's looking for shark parts.
I mean, what? He just disappears off set every time. Here you go. What is he going to come back with? Oh, Jesus.
So, Bub, let's talk a little bit now about what I have in my hand.
So these, as you guys are seeing, which he's going to show you up close, these are absolute brand new to BEM. These things are full, just under 1/4 inch thickness of identical factory emblems. These are BEM custom cut logos that are going on to all of the custom one-off BEM designs and builds here, designed by not only myself, but Jason Poole out of Orange County Choppers and fresh off the mill.
So I simply reached up to Paul Sr., said we need to get these in production, and this will be making an appearance on the BEM Rough Country Jeep.
That's right.
Is that correct?
Absolutely.
Where are you guys going to be putting this, Chris?
I don't know. We're holding up all over the place.
Yeah,
Are you really?
we've kind of
Should I have about 12 of them cut for the Jeep?
For sure.
Yeah.
They're going to be everywhere.
Right?
We've really dulled it down, but now we're going to plaster logos all over this thing.
Oh my goodness, man! But that's the quality of that machine work coming out of OCC is absolutely stunning, Bub.
That's like everything they do. It's spot on.
Yeah, it's crazy. man.
Internally threaded, but also with a full flange on the outside perimeter of it. If you show everyone the backside, you can actually do one of 2 mounting options: 3M adhesive, your traditional style for logos and emblems, or you can actually internal thread that and drill holes and mount if you do not want to have that removed.
It's pretty neat stuff, isn't it, Bub?
That's
Almost
right.
looks like a spider web on the back, doesn't it?
I don't know about that at
Kind
all.
of looks very cool, Bub.
I don't know.
Spiders, sharks, yeah.
We're getting there.
We're
Tigers
on the way.
next, man.
We're on the
Tigers
way.
will be next. So, Chris, how do you feel about it, man? Are you excited, man?
Yeah, very excited. I can't, like I said, I can't speak highly enough of it. Everything is amazing. The custom work, the color is what gets my attention as soon as you walk in here.
The attention to detail is crazy that Bub puts into everything. Yeah. It's a slow, steady process, isn't it, man?
Yeah,
It just doesn't happen
it's kind of
fast.
fun because I walk around with him and we look at it. Okay, do we need to put something here? Do we need to do something there? Okay, no, there's enough black, there's enough blue. So, I mean, he's right. You do the two-tone and you can't have too much and you can't have too little. It's got to be just right.
Right on, man. Right on.
You know, and that's the hard part too that most people don't understand is it wasn't just going from like we talked about originally where it was like, okay, from an accident, you paint the fender, you base coat, you clear it, it's white, it's very simple. Then you polish it up and you send the client down the road, right? Well, you're gonna take this thing apart that far. That's when I threw out to Chris, like, hey, listen, if we're going this far, like everything from the windshield frame forward was off, literally all the way down to the firewall.
Yeah, the whole thing was
So, as you know, with Jeeps, to lift them, the doors off, to take those off, it's just a couple torques at the bottom of the hinges, you lift them off, and the doors are off, right? So then you move to like the top, 6 bolts on the top, 2 wing nuts on the front, and the top is off. So it's really for the couple hours additional, and I think it was last Thursday, we were talking this morning, it was last Thursday, I threw at Chris, I was like, listen, bro, we are this far into this project. If you want to change a freaking color, just pick right now, and we're going to change the whole color and coat this whole thing. Yeah. And that's what we did. So we took everything apart, and the professional way to do is removing door handles. Of course, we swapped these out anyways.
all the weather strip.
All the weather strip, the door locks. There's no
Inner door
taping
panels.
done anywhere on this Jeep. It was fully taken down to all the raw components, weather strip out, mirrors out, nut, bolt, just like the assembly line would have done. So there's not a single sign of ever being a different color.
How about, Bub, the underside of it? Even the underside of it was...
Ooh, that's a
the
key
underside
piece
of
that
the
we
top.
did, right?
The underside of the top is no longer the stock Jeep color. Thank God they got the permitting done on our booth so we could get our production line running.
So listen, and that's what it takes, bro. But now we are crushing through over there, right?
Yeah,
So
we're
the
starting to move
inside of
through.
all of these Jeeps come in a white. Every one of them, in the Freedom tops and also on the rear, they all come in just a basic white, and it looks like crap. No matter what color interior you got, whether it was cloth, whether it was vinyl, leather, cat skin, custom stitched, they were all white interiors. I don't know why, the reasoning behind it. I'm sure somewhere out there some dill hole knows a reason for that. But I'll tell you what, man, we took all of those parts off. Again, we removed all the weather strip, we took all the nuts and bolts off, all the factory labels, the visor labels, the warning labels for airbags
Took
and
them to Jason
rollovers.
next door and said, go.
Took all that stuff apart the way it should be done, and we actually vinyl dyed all of that satin black. So now on the inside, this thing is super, super dark, with the exception of all that blue accenting we did, not only from the outside, but to the inside in terms of the door handle inserts. We did all of the vent rings.
The steering wheel action.
The steering wheel controls, everything has been done also in that same exact blue. So every color now is themed inside and out.
I think, Bub, I can actually show people a copy or an idea of what the steering
Wheel and dash areas look like right there. Mr. Producer, can that be seen?
Am I holding it up good?
Everybody can see that the interior theme is matched to the rest of the exterior of the vehicle, which makes it very nice in terms of your eye flowing across it when you walk in and out, especially with the electric steps. That's a neat visual, Bub, as they pop on and off while you're getting in and out.
Yep.
Chris, thank you for your patience over the last 6 months. It's been a long run, man.
It's all paying off right now. So.
I know you needed your Jeep back, but your patience has paid off, and it takes time to do these projects and to do them right, unfortunately.
Well, it's paying off, and the funny thing is like, you know, seeing his quality of work. We send pictures back and forth pretty much daily of different Jeeps.
Most of them are nonsense too.
Yeah, it's like, what is this? What is this? And driving down here, there's Jeeps everywhere.
Yeah.
And I texted him, I'm like, man, I drove down A1A the other day, there must have been 30 Jeeps, and not one of them was even close to this color, this style, this design. So hats off to him, man.
Thanks, bro.
I'm so excited about driving this thing out of here. I can't be.
And we still have a pretty good amount to do. We're going to finish wrapping this sucker up. The doors are all built. Everything that is here is now hung and ready to go. So we are down to doing some final jam shooting. We are down to doing the rear tubs. And then we are down to, like you can see back on the woodwork table here, the tailgate is sitting back there. We still need to plumb all that up and get the harness rolled in there and then mount that on. We are using Royal hooks for all of our handles and hinges. So everything has been upgraded to this insane CNC cut bill of aluminum.
You know what sharks bite?
Oh, Christ. There's a key word. See? One word, just off the deep end. Well, see you, Chris.
Chris, we
I've had
appreciate
enough
it, brother. Thank you, Chris. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. There is Chris, builder of Black Hawk helicopters, man. But let's talk a little bit about what's going on with OCC. Tuesday night, man, it was the release of the Senior Series bikes, man. We're going to be doing those with Paul Sr. and Joni and the crew. I'm really excited that we have financing for these bikes.
That's right.
Correct, through Fortis Capital Management. We'll be putting a link up on the website coming up, and all anybody has to do is what?
It's literally as simple as you can get now in terms of buying any sort of automotive or motorsports vehicle in the marketplace. It's going to be going to both the OCC or the BEM sites. You can literally go on and out of your color options, your chrome options, whether you want things to be chrome or black. It's very simple. It's going to be, you know, for the 10 or 15 different options you have, whether it's chrome exhaust, black exhaust, chrome front end, black front end, it's all going to be Springer front ends, all going to be the same cut exhaust, all going to be the same, you know, manufacturer of forward controls and lever controls.
Yes.
All of that will be all same. It's just a matter of selecting your personal preference, chrome or black, and then we go through, just package that up, and literally in minutes you can click on every color you want. You click on the exterior color you want of your 10s, and then it's submit. It's just that simple.
We've had, what, 15, 20 calls come through this
Yep.
week alone. We've been getting names and numbers and everything, getting ready to roll into production right now. I think Senior and Joni up at OCC headquarters have been having the same situation.
Yeah, a lot.
How about that, Bob? How about our producer, Matt's wearing one of the OCC grunt-style shirts even right now.
That's right.
He's over there tearing it up, isn't he,
Yep.
Bob? And we can't thank everybody up there. When I reached out to Senior, he said, give me that design. Jason Poole up there, who we all know from the show, good cat, man, really, really good cat. He was just here in Florida as well, man.
Yeah.
He was here with his parents on the West Coast.
Yep.
Hanging out as well, Bob.
Yep.
So we're going to be doing a lot of the production work. We know we're going to build these bikes. We're going to get them out to people. They'll be available through the OCC website, the BEM website. People can stop right in and physically see the bikes here as well, man.
Yep.
It's going to be crazy, Bub. How do you feel about it?
I'm good, man. It's, we got a lot of insane stuff going on right now between, this Kevlar coated Jeep, which is over the top. We have the SEMA 19 build going offset over
Right
here.
over here, man.
We also have the Senior Series bikes going through production right now. So there's a lot of insane builds going on, crazy designs, and wait till you see some of the Pro Touring rides that are coming out of our restoration and build side of BEM as well. A lot of sick stuff.
Speaking of Senior Series stuff, Bub, can we talk a little bit about the Senior Vet?
Just stay tuned for that. You guys are going to have to see what comes down from New York to BEM in South Florida.
You got something you want to share?
No, you have to
Not
wait.
yet.
Just have to wait.
It's going to be ugly, isn't it?
There's going to be no rough country product on the Senior Series Vet. Sorry, Tyler and guys over at Rough Country.
Yeah, you guys, this is a totally different
I
build.
can't put a winch on the front of the Vet.
Unless you finalize, like, what is it going to be, 1,500 horsepower Vet?
It'll be over 15.
1,500 horsepower Vet?
Should be good.
And when Senior gets here, and Senior's the greatest guy in the world. He's got a great attitude. He's always laughing, always pulling jokes on you, always pulling pranks. What if you put his Jeep on like a 6-inch lift, or his Vet on a 6-inch lift?
I've thought about that.
Have you really?
I've got a few things up my sleeve for him.
That car's going to make an appearance too on TV.
That's right.
Isn't it?
Yep.
It's going to be a big to do.
Yep.
I'm
So
looking
you guys
forward
stay
to it.
tuned for all the insane stuff rolling out of BEM, whether it's here on our Facebook wall or our Instagram feed, anywhere on social media, Twitter, Netflix, Hulu, Discovery Channel, doesn't matter. The stuff will be out there, hot on the spot. Chris is laughing off set for whatever reason, who knows why. Probably thinking about Discovery Shark Week coming up soon. There might be a BEM logo in the background.
Could be.
Who knows?
Could very well be. Hey, good morning to Andrew out at Extreme Dimensions. Bub, Andrew is our carbon and body kit sponsor. Their name is behind the SEMA car. What about a wide body Senior Series Vet?
Yeah, we've already.
Ooh, you haven't told me about that. Ladies and gentlemen, you better watch for the Senior Series Vet coming. I think it's going to be ugly.
All right, so I guess that's it, guys. He's saying too much. I'm out.
Uh-oh, Mark Hoffman is saying Senior Vet on an S10 4x4 chassis. Ladies and gentlemen, who would we be without the ladies' man making an appearance? Let's grab him up right here. Come on, baby. You want to say hi to everybody? Here we go. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, the ladies' man is in the house. There he is right there, and he's saying hello to all of you, and thank you for being a fan. There he is, ladies and gentlemen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to wrap up this episode. We certainly appreciate you joining us. I want to give a big shout out to Orange County Choppers. Let's make sure we're out there every Tuesday night, 10 p.m. on the Discovery Channel. Something new coming every week. Check out the new People magazine article on Senior and the resurrection of the Orange County Chopper business. He's a master businessman. And when you sit and talk to him, gives me chills, man. When you sit and talk to him one-on-one, the business side of it just oozes out. And it's so simplistic, ladies and gentlemen. It's not complicated. It's a great business model. Do the right thing. Work your asses off every day. And no matter what, doesn't matter. Don't worry about making substitutions. It all pays off if you do it honestly and ethically in the end. Crazy guy. Mark Hoffman says, or C6, huh? C7 or C6? Bub, Senior's Vet is a C7? C6. Andrew over at Extreme Dimensions, C6, so get it ready. Mark Hoffman says, big money, love, and kisses. Want to thank Rough Country for all the great product they put forth in the BEM Rough Country Polar Edition Jeep. We appreciate it. And Senior, the reason I can't answer that question is I don't know the color. Bub mixed it, but we'll get it over to you. Senior wants that color. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for this episode of Doing It Bubba Style. Let's reach out to touch somebody's life in a very positive manner today, shall we? Let's open the door for somebody who's got their hands full. Let's put shoes on somebody's feet, who, by the way, may have holes in them. Guys, you've got a sweaty pair of sneakers in the back of your car. Put them on there. Just give it to them, man. Put them on there. Don't give them a pair of high heels. Come on, guys. We know better than that. Check out the new OCC line of CBD. Did you see the CBD products it released, Bud? The private label brand CBD products from OCC for pets?
No, would you wrap it up over there?
Check out that line, man. Look, hey, the producers are spinning. ZR1 fenders, Bub, for Senior's Vet, maybe?
We're going to talk about that later on.
Okay, so I guess you and Bub are going to have a big conference meeting about that. How about that? And ladies and gentlemen, if you see somebody on the corner with the sign that says, we'll work for food, you know what, man? Stop what you're doing. It only takes a couple minutes. 7-Eleven, Citgo, they're all right there on the corner. How about a power drink and a protein bar, man? That's cheaper than your designer cup of coffee. I want to thank everybody out there. Let's have a great weekend. Let's be safe. Until tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock on the #1 rated internationally syndicated motorsports podcast as heard on iTunes, doing it Bubba style. Let's see if we can have Senior and Joni join us tomorrow. We'll talk a little bit about the great upcoming stuff at OCC. We love you people. Thanks for making us #1. Later. Bubs, hey, little man, you ready to eat? You ready to eat, little man? How about that? No, you can't chew the lighting up. Let's eat. Joni said, you guys are too much while we're on the air. Good gals, good peoples.